Hey YouTubers, you may be like me where you have pulled information off the internet for years and have never given back, put a video out there, so this is my first attempt, so bear with me. This is, I've got a 1990 300ZX Z32, and when I first got it, the clock barely illuminated and sometimes would just go away completely. I did a bunch of research online and found that if you replace 3 of the diodes in there, or maybe it was resistors, I think it's 3 of the resistors, it may fix it. So as a big hassle, I did it, replaced the resistors, and it didn't make any difference. So I thought about other models that may work in this application, and I was rummaging through the junkyard and came across a 1996, which is what this is from, Maxima, Nissan Maxima, and super easy to pull out the clock. It's basically mounted up high in the dash, and you just pop off the panel, unscrew the clock, and make sure to take the harness pigtail from the clock as well on that vehicle so you can easily wire it into this one. So basically the only difference is that it doesn't have the reset button, but that doesn't really matter, and the angle's the same. So it turns out really good. There's a few subtle differences, and I'll show you that. And then this is it working now. So this is ignition right there, and then on, and it also works when you dim the when you turn the headlights, it dims. So regarding installation of the clock, as you can see, the one that's installed is the Maxima, and you can see how I've had to add these longer screws. Here's the original ones, and they're quite a bit longer. So basically, if you just find screws that are similar thread pitch, a little bit different length, you'll get what you need. And here is, and you can see the difference here in the height. So these mounting tabs on the factory part are lower, and so therefore need a shorter screw. So that's really the only difference. The angle is the the and so the screw holes work perfectly. You just need slightly longer screws. Regarding the wiring, I know this isn't the prettiest setup, but it works. Basically, I took this piece, this harness that was attached here, and I cut it off of the factory clock and used it to tap into the harness that I pulled from the Maxima. And so you can see this wiring right here, and I'll show you a picture of the schematic and what I did. And you can do butts place connectors or solder it together however you want to do it. So I'm not completely finished, but anyways, that's the idea. So going over here, this is the harness side of the Z that's attached to the vehicle, that's in the vehicle, like the dash harness. This is the small short harness that was attached to the clock that I cut off, this piece right here. And then this is the wiring from the Maxima harness that I pulled off the vehicle. So as you can see, I wired this. I had a little trial and error here, but the crossed out line is not the direction to go for the red-blue, which ends up going to red-blue, green-white. And that's for illumination. And then you got black goes to black and black, which is ground. Orange goes to light green, which is ignition, white. And then you've got yellow blue, which goes to yellow, and blue white, which is the battery. So, and then here's the schematic. If you want to take a look at that, this is the clock right here. So this is for a 1990. It may vary through the different years, but it should be kind of similar between 90 through 96. And then again, I don't know what the other applications are that may work for other year Maximas or maybe even other Nissans, but this is definitely one that works, and Maximas are pretty plentiful in junkyards. So if you got any questions, I may be able to help with wiring. Just send a message, and I hope you like it. Thanks. I also wanted to add regarding removal of the clock itself from the vehicle. There's a couple trim pieces here that you can pry out with a small pocket screwdriver on both sides, and then you got screws exposed. And then behind the there's a panel here that you can just pop out again with a small screwdriver, these tabs, and then reveals these 2 screws, and the whole unit just pries out of the dash. And then in the back you've got these 2 screws here, one there, one here, holding the clock in place. And then the connector can be difficult to get off. Basically, you have to get a small screwdriver in here and push down as you take the connector and slide it rearward, and it should pop it off, and then you could get it get the slack in there to cut it.